Stigma kills. Stigma will keep people from pursuing recovery. It is what drags a number of individuals back into active use and or death, and is something that we in the recovering spaces put high value on right now, because it is culturally affecting the access for somebody to actually get treatment if it's needed, because they internally are not able to cope with these harsh and painful opinions of others.
SAVES is Substance and Violence Education Support here at Radford University. I like to describe it as an umbrella program. We provide advocacy for students who have experienced any type of sexual assault, domestic violence. When I interviewed for my job here at Radford University, I remember them asking me the question, why Radford, why now? And my response was, because my brother's addiction started in college and I never wanted to see another family have to struggle with what my family had struggled with.
I am somebody with lived experience in addiction, and it was not a very pretty story that got me there, but I found my way into recovery. I now bring that lived experience to campus to share what tools and strategies worked for me to find my path to recovery, and to share it with students on campus so that they can pursue recovery while achieving a degree. Our idea with the aspect of recovery is to bring support and to carry this message toward those who are struggling so that they're able to begin a path toward their own personal wellness. Our communities have been ravaged by this disease, and if I have a loved one or a friend who is diagnosed with cancer, I show up with a casserole to their front door. With addiction, the same treatable illness is greeted with silence. It is important and germane to be advocates for recovery just as much as it is to provide these supports for students.
Individuals that I have served who are working through recovery are truly some of the most miraculous, remarkable, creative people that I have ever worked with. And I think that in their addiction, oftentimes, because of the stigma and things that are associated with that, they don't really get to live to their full potential of passion and purpose. And I find that when people truly find a path of recovery and they start to tap into what their purpose is, you truly see them change the world.
I've made it my goal to reduce stigma on campus by actively promoting my life in long-term recovery. And I share that with others, and I encourage those who find their way to a recovery path to do the same. For so long, recovery has been an unknown concept to the world because we have stayed quiet. We don't really want anyone to know that we're in recovery. The promotion of stigma reduction is one thing. Becoming aware that there are these stigmas associated with addiction is important to not only educate our broader community, but to invite others to become advocates. We want to not just use recovering folk to promote recovery, but everybody, because it's a human right.
Community, for me, is about all thriving. Everyone thrives when everyone's recovering together. That you've talked some with Reed, our peer specialist, who has that lived experience from recovery. But for me, as a sibling of someone who has battled addiction for a really long time, I think that, you see collectively how allies play a really significant role too. And that's why we're really looking to expand our collegiate recovery community to not just be Radford's collegiate recovery community, but to be Highlander Hope. Hope stands for healing, outreach, prevention, and empowerment. And our goal really is to create a campus community where we not only support our students that are in recovery, but also faculty, staff alike who have been impacted by the disease of addiction, that they create the allies for the space that we need on campus, because we all need each other.
If there's one thing that I wanted listeners to this video to understand about recovery, it's that it is accessible, it's available to all, but it is not an easy process, and it does take an entire village to support these service needs of of recovering folks, of anybody who needs these services, but it's up to our entire society to hold hands and say we support individuals in recovery because they are a part of our society. We do not intend to cast them out anymore. Instead, we're going to invite them back in to be productive members of our campus, of our learning environment, of our society, and of the next generation of thinkers and doers.
If I learned anything a long time ago, that if people are still breathing, there's hope. And so I don't judge any recovery path as any different than another, because at the end of the day, if someone's working towards recovery and they're still here to be working on it, then we will help them find whatever path works for them. I think at the end of the day, we just want our students to know that if you need to come to us for assistance, we're available to help you. Our ultimate goal is that our students feel safe while they're here, that our students feel supported while they're here, and that they know that they're not just a number on this campus, that they are individuals, and that we care about you. We care about your well-being, and we care about your success while you're here as a student and what you can take forth into the world as you go.